back to another one of my videos. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Lotta, and today I want to take you along as I make one of my family favorite dinners. Now the first thing I'm going to do is prepare all of my vegetables. So I've already got a bunch of mini potatoes here that I've boiled and I'm just letting them cool off. Now you're also going to need an onion, 3 carrots, and 3 peppers. Now I usually just use whatever vegetables I have on hand, so sometimes that'll be zucchini, you could also use eggplant or tomatoes or mushrooms, really anything that you have, just throw it in there. That being said, I'm going to chop these 3 things up and just add them into my bowl with the potatoes. Now that everything is chopped up, I'm just going to transfer it into a nice big baking tray that we're going to put our chicken in as well. Now at this point we also want to go ahead and season our vegetables and of course add a decent amount of olive oil or any oil that you have at home. It is important to add the oil because else the onions will start to burn when they're in the oven because the chicken's not done yet. Don't want that, so add a decent amount of oil and then some fresh cracked pepper, a good pinch of coarse sea salt, and I'm also going to be adding some rosemary as well. Set this aside while I start preparing my chicken. Now the next thing we need to make is the marinade for our chicken. So for that you're going to need 1 stick of butter. Yes, I know it's a lot, but it just works out that way. And of course your seasonings. Again, you can use any seasonings that you like and that you prefer. These are just the ones that I usually end up using. And that is Cajun, paprika, pepper, and seasoning salt. So the first thing we need to do is melt this whole stick of butter and then basically just add all of our spices into the butter and give it a good mix around. Now if you're feeling extra fancy, you could also brown your butter. I'm not gonna do that mainly because I just want dinner to get in the oven because I'm hungry. But if you do brown your butter, it does give a nice nutty note to it as well. So you could always try that out. I changed my mind and I did brown my butter and it smells so good. It was definitely the right choice. So at this point, we just add all of our spices and you do not want to be shy. Remember, this is going on all of your chicken and the more spices, the merrier and the better it'll be. So do not be shy. Now this can just go on the side while we start preparing our actual chicken. Now I have my 6 chicken legs here and I've already removed any of the extra fat. That's just what my family does, my personal preference. If you don't want to do that, you can leave them just the way it is, totally up to you. Now before I continue, I'm also going to start preheating my oven to 200 degrees Celsius or 392 degrees Fahrenheit. Now I saw this thing that said if you pour boiling water over the top of your chickens, the skin will like tighten up and it'll make them extra crispy when you put them in the oven. I haven't tried it out yet, so I figured today would be the perfect day to try it. That being said, I'm just going to pour a tiny bit of hot water over every single chicken leg, I guess. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. That is so cool. Okay, so I was very skeptical about that working, but the skin literally just tightened up so much. You could literally see it in the video. I'm amazed. I feel like if this actually crispens it up in the oven, I'm going to do this every single time. Okay, now that we have all this water in here, we're going to drain the water and then just marinate our chickens. Easiest is to marinate the bottom first, then the top, and then place it on top of our vegetables. You can either leave your chicken and your vegetables on 2 separate baking trays, but personally I like adding my chicken just right on top of my vegetables or in between all of the vegetables. That way any of the fat and all the spices from the chicken will kind of mix together with all the vegetables and it's all in one pan. But since this is a lot of chicken and a lot of vegetables, or you don't want to mix them together, you can always just leave them separately. Now, if you do keep your vegetables separately, I would say to put the vegetable tray into the oven a little bit after your chicken because it's not going to need the full hour like the chicken does. Now, I also don't want to waste any of our butter here, so I'm going to pour that just over my chicken. Now this needs to go into the oven for 60 minutes or 1 hour, and halfway through we're going to pour some more of that hot boiling water over each chicken breast and then pop it back into the oven for the last 30 minutes. Alright, so it's been the first 30 minutes. Now at this point, if you have enough liquid inside of your baking tray, you could also use that to pour over your chicken breast, kind of like you're basting it. But it's hard for me to reach any of that, so I'm just going to pour over some more of our boiled water. Alright, now this is going to go back into the oven for the last 30 minutes. And that's dinner done. If you liked the video, you can give it a thumbs up, and as always, the whole recipe is going to be in the description box below.